Good Lord, I'm so hungry, but dang, I cannot find a place to eat. I don't know where to eat. I don't want to trigger my skin disease. I want to eat healthy, but all there is fast food. Oh gosh, what the hell am I going to do? Oh man, I hate being in this situation. I wish Rob Stewart would make a video about how to handle this situation. What's up, my friends? Welcome to another video. I'm Rob Stewart and I'm here to help you get your skin and your overall health back on track. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna be sipping my morning drink as I do this video. Bet you guys would like to know what's in here, and I'll share with you exactly what I drink in the morning at the very end of the video, because I think it's a pretty legit thing to talk about. We've all been in that situation where you are absolutely starving, you need to stay on your skin health game, you're looking to eat a nice clean meal, but you got nothing in your fridge, you got nothing in your pantry, and there's just really no ability to make food at home. Or you're out on the road, you're at a day of work, you're traveling, you're doing something that doesn't allow you to cook at home, and so you have to eat out. In today's video, I want to show you guys a what I ate today video, but I've realized that in the past I almost never eat out at all when I'm doing my what I ate today videos. And I'm someone who does have the ability to go out and eat socially and stay on my clean diet. And so what I want to do in today's video is I want to show you guys a day of eating where I'm not making any meals at home. And I want to go into more detail about what I look for and how I find restaurants and places that I know that I can eat, that won't trigger me, that are nice and healthy, and that keep me on my skin health game long term. Also, worst case scenario is when you really can't find a good restaurant to go to and you have to go to something like fast food or a gas station. At the end of the video, or towards the end of the video, I'm gonna cover that too, which is super important because there are little tricks that you can do to get a good meal inside of your body from fast food or crappy places that will not trigger you, that will not affect you negatively. It will be like a neutral meal. You'll get some good nutrition and you'll be on your way without having any major triggers. So in the area that I live, I know a bunch of different restaurants that I can go to. Generally steakhouses, high-end restaurants like Sternella's, like the one I'm gonna eat in today's video, and things like sushi places are generally really easy for me to go to and know that I can get some type of steak or beef or chicken or fish that's pretty high quality. I can order it without all of the crazy seed oil sauces and creamy weird sauces and cheeses and stuff that they throw on top of it, and just order very simply. You can pretty much go to any restaurant, even places like Applebee's, and get a steak and get chicken and get salmon, order it with nothing on it except butter and add a little salt, and that's generally gonna be your best bet. It's super easy, it's super straightforward, and really it's not that hard to find. Another place that I found to be really easy to find in almost every city is barbecue, and most people don't consider barbecue to be healthy, and they picture, like when you picture like barbecue places, like a lot of overweight people and cornbread and baked beans and potato salad and all of that crazy stuff, which all of that is there, but generally, there's also very lightly seasoned smoked meat, which is absolutely one of my favorites and works really well as a staple food. The smoked meat works really good because it's not fried in oils. Generally, you do have to check in with the seasoning they put on to make sure it's not too spicy, but when you find a barbecue place or a smokehouse that has lightly seasoned, mostly with just salt, the food is awesome and it's affordable and you can get lots of it. It's a pretty good one this morning. Really good, actually. And that will bring us to meal number one. There's a place where I live in Omaha called Homeland, excuse me, it's not called Homeland anything, it's called Heartland Barbecue. And it's in a very old school neighborhood in Benson, and it is quality smoked meat. Now you do have to be careful with their barbecue sauces, which as you'll see, I don't eat any of. So meal number one for me was a pound of brisket from Heartland Barbecue in Omaha and a half rack of ribs. Now for me, that's about a perfect size meal. And if you notice the ribs, there's not even really any seasoning on them at all except for salt. And I didn't have to add any barbecue sauce or anything to make it taste good. If I were to add anything to it, I would have just added a little bit more butter, because to get my fat just slightly higher, because I like my fat levels pretty high, and I love the way that butter tastes. It's a great thing to use as a flavor, and it's an awesome food for me for my skin health. So the ribs were amazing. And I'll tell you what, the reason I go to this barbecue place is for the brisket. The brisket is top notch. It's tender, it's got a high fat content rather, and it tastes absolutely delicious. And it was, a very affordable meal for this much meat. This is gonna keep me stuffed all day, and that was it. So the basics is I found a smokehouse, a barbecue place that doesn't over season their meat, and the meat tastes great without having to add their barbecue sauces to it. Obviously, I didn't have any baked beans or potatoes or fries or any of the other delicious stuff that's there. I just focused on my staple foods, and it was kind of a plain meal, but it did taste great, and I was completely satisfied. Now, obviously, eating out is not ideal, but there's ideal and there's real, and real life happens. And I want you guys to be prepared for everything life throws at you, for most of us. And I know it was this way for myself, that during my year of healing, it's not really realistic, both financially and just as a human being living in a place where there's other people, to sit at home for a whole year, eat every single meal at home, and be absolutely perfect and never mess up and never have any deviations and never have anything that life throws at you. It's just not realistic. So I think knowing places around town that you can pop into, that you can get some healthy food and stay on track, even if it's more of a neutral meal rather than a positive meal, it's still gonna be better than eating a trigger food or eating some cupcakes or eating a bunch of random, Okay, that meal took place around 10 in the morning, 10:30. It was like a brunch lunch. And then I went about my day. I had a workout, I worked and did my normal day, which is talking to clients, creating content, setting up business meetings, and also talking to new people who are trying to become my clients. Basically, that's all I do 6 to 7 days a week. Have some workouts. And then in my free time, I have as many adventures out in nature as I possibly can. But one of the things that I also love to do is I love to find the healthy places around my town to eat clean. And like I said, sushi places is sometimes the easiest, because you can go get some raw sashimi, some raw chunks of yellowtail or salmon, and you really can't beat that for a skin health food. It is pretty much a superfood, and it's absolutely amazing. You can find that at every sushi place all around town. Also, at least in Nebraska and in San Diego, where I'm from, in Phoenix too, I found this, and when I lived in New York City and lived in Manhattan on Wall Street, there was tons of sushi places where you could get delicious filet mignon or some type of really good steak, which is a good segue, and I didn't even do that on purpose, into my next meal. So for this meal, I went a little higher end. So lunch was super cheap and affordable. I think I paid like $14 for all of that quality meat. They do a great job over there keeping their prices low. But dinner, I wanted to have a little bit more of a high-end experience. And for some people, this might be out of their budget, but you can take the idea of what I'm eating and transfer it to less expensive restaurants super easy. It's more about the approach than the actual cost or the actual quality. So at Stornella's, which is a place that's literally a couple blocks up the street from where I live, which makes it super convenient. I can hit it on the way home from being out in town. I can also have a full day of work, and if I just want to treat and stay, excuse me, I'm dying. Sometimes, because I create so much content, I talk on the phone to so many people about healing skin disease, and because I do quite a lot of interviews with press and other bloggers and people doing podcasts, this week was super crazy with work. I probably worked 80 hours, and You can probably notice in my videos, sometimes my voice is a little bit more crackly and raspy. I have no vocal cords. I got them taken out when I was a little kid, and I have a sensitive throat and I have a graspily voice. And sometimes my voice goes. I will lose my voice from time to time because I have to talk so damn much. I don't know why I shared that with you guys. Pretty random. Let's get back to the food. I was talking about Stornella's. It's right above my house. I can walk up there. They pretty much know what I eat. And here's the trick with high-end restaurants is if you order a dish, so let's say you order the filet mignon or you order a ribeye, generally, what comes with that? Well, potatoes or fries and some type of side salad or some type of mixed vegetable. And you're gonna pay like anywhere from $20 to $50 depending on the restaurant, which is quite a lot for a tiny little piece of steak. But if you notice that add-ons and side orders pretty much change the game. So for instance, right now I'm eating Wagyu in this video, and Wagyu is to me the most delicious tasting type of meat there is on the planet. It's like butter. There's no wasted meat. Like everything that's on the plate gets eaten. There's no gristle or fat left over that I don't like. And generally Wagyu is gonna cost you 50 to 100 bucks a plate, but at this place, the Wagyu sirloin is what I get. It comes broiled with just salt. The sauce that you see is really actually super basic. All that is just some of the fat drippings from the beef mixed with some butter and mixed with some salt. They throw a few other ingredients in there that I don't remember, but I know that none of them are spicy and I know that none of them are trigger foods for me. So that little sauce, that's a darn delicious treat, but also it's a non-trigger treat. So the way I keep it affordable is this is not something off the menu. This is sides of Wagyu. It's the add-on. So you can add on as much Wagyu steak to a salad or to your dish as you want. And I don't know why they don't realize this, but their Wagyu add-on is 1/3 the price of their Wagyu dish. So I can get a whole pound of Wagyu there and scallops, as you'll see in this video too, which are again fried in butter and have absolutely no issue at all. I had about 8 ounces of that Wagyu, and then I wanted some scallops, so I had 2 scallops, which most people don't realize this about scallops. They are one of the most protein-rich powerhouse little bad boys you're ever gonna eat. They're just filled with protein, absolutely wonderful. And I'm sitting there after my Wagyu dinner and I'm like, you know what, I'm still pretty hungry. I had a very active day and I need more food. So I doubled down. So I had round 2 of Wagyu and I wanted a little bit more protein because I did have a pretty heavy workout. So I got a little chicken. I hadn't had their chicken there before. And it was just what they call chicken cone fit. It just shredded chicken with a little bit of butter and salt on it and a tiny bit of olive oil afterwards, and it tasted absolutely delicious. I love to eat steak out because you really at a good restaurant, you cannot beat the quality and the taste. This whole dinner with probably a pound and a half of Wagyu and 2 scallops and chicken only cost me $45. I know for some of you that might be really expensive, but if you compare that to, you know, going to a steakhouse in New York or a steakhouse in California and getting a 4-ounce Wagyu steak with a potato, that's gonna cost you 100 bucks. So $45 for a pound and a half of Wagyu that is seasoned to the way I like it, cooked to perfection, and scallops that are the same and chicken that is the same. I'll take that, no problem. That works perfectly for me. It's a bit of a splurge, and you know, it's not like I'm gonna be doing that every single night of my life, but when I eat out in an ideal world, that's what my day of eating looks like. And that's what I ate for the entire day. It was the smokehouse in the morning for my brunchy lunch, and it was the Stornella's Wagyu steak for dinner. I didn't have breakfast, I didn't have tea in the morning, all I had was water. It was water and then right to work, and then on the run, like most people in normal life do. I had my barbecue, and then I went about my day working out, working a ton, and I was actually out and about and was like, okay, perfect, Stornella's time. So boom, that was my day of eating. Now for probably the more important part of the video for a lot of you guys is worst case scenario. So the worst case scenario is that you can't go and eat at your house, because the ideal is to make your food at home and make sure it's all prepared perfectly for you. But like I said in the intro, that's not realistic for everybody all the time. It's not even realistic for me all the time, and I'm a very disciplined, very orderly and organized person with my food, as you guys know. So what happens if your only choices are the worst, like fast food and or gas stations? So let me start with gas stations and crappy supermarkets. Generally, on the run at a gas station, you can find two things that are okay. They're neutral and the quality's probably not the best, but for a single meal here and there, it will keep you on your game without triggering the ever-living crap out of your skin. So number one is you can almost always find some sort of fruit, a banana, an apple, or something at a gas station or a crappy convenience store. So grabbing a couple apples, for me, that works perfectly. Also, I can always find beef jerky. And beef jerky you do have to be careful with, because you don't want to be eating a ton of low quality meat, and you also don't want to find or eat beef jerky that's spicy. Spicy meats, paprika, crushed red pepper, jalapeno, that's totally a trigger food, so you want to avoid that. But finding beef jerky that's basically made with salt, I guess we're lucky here because there's a lot of beef jerky distributors or something in the Midwest, and it's pretty easy to find. So at gas stations, you can keep it super easy. You can go with some fruit, you can go with some beef jerky. Also, worst case scenarios, they do have sandwiches at gas stations. And I'm not saying to eat the sandwich with their low quality cheese and their probably really crappy quality bread, but what I am saying is that that turkey or that ham that's in the sandwich can be taken out and eaten. And again, it's not the best case scenario, but even turkey lunch meat is gonna be way better than, you know, eating some type of ultra processed junk food, or even like grabbing like a kale smoothie or something like that. I would rather eat McDonald's meat than kale smoothies any day of the week when it comes to my overall health and my skin health. So let's talk about fast food places. Now this is where it actually gets easy, because nowadays there are tons and tons of burger joints. And remember, this is coming up for me as I'm saying this to you guys. This is worst case scenario. This isn't the advice that you want to strive for. You don't want to take this advice and start allowing yourself to eat gas station apples and turkey and eating burgers from burger joints just because they're higher quality all the time. That won't lead to healing your skin. Remember, this is when you're in a pickle, when you're in a jam. No pun intended. More morning drink. But it's pretty easy these days to find places that have flame broiled burgers or grass-fed burgers that aren't fried in a bunch of disgusting, gnarly grease. Also, there's a lot of places that have grilled foods, you know, grilled chicken sandwiches and grilled hamburgers. And hey, worst case scenario, if it's me, I'll have no problem finding one of those places, going and getting 4 or 5 burgers, taking the buns off, removing the cheese, and just eating hamburger meat. And yeah, it's kind of boring, and sometimes it tastes good and sometimes it doesn't taste that great, but guess what? It works. It's protein, it's fat, it's from a non-trigger food source, and it keeps the momentum of healthy skin going. So as you can see, have some options. You do have to get a little creative, but even when you're in the worst case scenario, gas stations and fast food, you can stay neutral and keep the progress of your skin health and the customization process of your diet going. Okay, bonus time. What am I drinking today? And what is this little drink that I have in some of the videos? The What I Ate Today video was filmed yesterday. I'm shooting the voiceovers and this part of it today. Yesterday during the filming, I didn't have any type of tea. Sometimes I don't have any tea, sometimes I do. I have a local farmer that I'm friends with, hooks me up with good, high quality, raw cream. Raw cream, for me, works absolutely perfect. Raw milk, not so great, but raw cream, full fat, we're talking with no lactose and no lactate, just the cream top, the fat only. So a little bit of that, probably about 3 ounces, which is actually a ton of calories if you really look into it, plus a little bit of green tea. And here's what I do. I brew the green tea, and it's matcha green tea. So I'll brew it the way you'd brew normal matcha green tea, which is, You warm up the water, you add the green tea slowly, you whisk it around with this cool little Japanese tool, and then the fun begins. Then I add my cream, I put it into a frother, and it's what I call my green tea latte. It's super basic, it's super easy, it doesn't have that much caffeine, it tastes really good. That's what's in here, that's what I'm sipping on. That's also gonna do it for today's video. Leave your comments and questions down below, guys. Let me know if you like this type of what I ate today video better than the vlog style. I can go really, really deep into the philosophy of what I'm eating, how I'm eating it, what I'm eating, where I'm getting it from. If that helps you guys, leave a comment, let me know so that I can provide for you guys content that actually helps, because that's what I'm here to do. For those of you looking to get a hold of me to become one of my skin health clients, have me consult you through this journey of healing your skin, there's a link for consultations down in the description box. There's also a link for the 3 Phases Workbook, which is the step-by-step guide for naturally healing your skin with a customized diet that is personalized for you as an individual. Last but not least, you can find a link for Skinessa, which is really, I think it might be the only probiotic that is from the start created for the sake of people that have eczema, dermatitis, and psoriasis. The owners of the company have big hearts and they really want to provide a top quality product, and they're the only company I've ever worked with. I get hit up every single day, literally. Go to my emails and there's 5 or 10 probiotic companies or supplement companies or powder companies or green smoothie companies nonstop asking us on this channel to provide marketing, which obviously you've never seen because I turned down everybody. But Skinessa, when they approached me a few years ago, I said, you know, actually your story is pretty legit. I have been looking for a probiotic because so many people need one and want one, and let me give it a try. And after experimentation on myself, I found that it is actually legit. And so that's why I've teamed up with them now for the last 2 years. And so that link will take you to their website and you can get some. And I love that stuff. Anyway, guys, I'm kind of rambling. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the support. Remember to hit the notification bell, hit the like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the deal. Peace. Love you guys.